Welcome once again, everybody, to Blockbuster Mentality, the show where we dive deep into the world of cinema. I'm your host, Ben Secord, and today, Dave and I, we will give our top 10 movies of the 2000s. Yes, that's right, 2000 to 2009. What a great decade in film. So sit back, relax, let's talk some movies.
Ben, the 2000s. What a great decade for movies. I'm a guy who deals with spreadsheets every day in my life, so I started doing my prep here, kind of looking at going back, what movies came out in this decade, so from the year 2000 to 2009, and on my spreadsheet I had about 50 rows of movies.
Yeah.
And I had to narrow them down to 10.
I know.
And man, if I did this in another day, I'd probably have maybe a different 10, with the exception of a couple. There's so many great movies, and I don't know if it's just our age or if it really is a great decade, but I started looking through these and I'm like, whoa, that came out. I love this movie affected me in this way. So what a great decade. I'm really excited to talk about this, and I really have no idea what you have on your list.
I have no idea what you have either, man. This is one of the toughest, we've been doing top 5 lists for a long time, and this is the toughest one I've had yet. There's ones that I've left off that tomorrow I'd probably be like, nah, I'd probably switch those out. Like Exactly. It's like a back and forth type thing. Like my number 1 and my number 2, for instance. Yeah. They're back and forth all the time. So this is going to be fun. I cannot wait to hear what you have on your list. I can only imagine. I think we'll have some similarities. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our top 10 through 6 kind of quickly. Just go through those real quick and then maybe get a little more in-depth from our 5 to 1. But yeah, because usually we do top 5s for these shorter episodes. But this was too hard to do just 5.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I mean, I have a hard time, narrowing 40 off. And I think on this one, I approached it on quality, of course, but also just what a movie means to me. And so that's kind of what my feeling on looking back, because there's so many movies. There's so many comedies in this decade that are legendary.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if I'm biased because of the actors that I happen to like are in these movies or not, which is probably possible. But there's so many great ones.
Some of my favorite comedies ever are in this decade.
So with that, you want me to lead off with my number 10?
Go ahead.
My number 10, and I think this is, the only pure comedy is Best in Show from 2000 by Chris Guest.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that's on my short list, but yeah, it didn't make my top 10. I love that movie.
Now, this is a movie, just so everybody knows, if you're still listening next Thanksgiving, this is we are going to do this movie, right? Because we did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We're going to get into...
Yeah, Best in Show for sure. Yeah,
this is. I love Eugene Levy. If I could be probably any human being in the world, I'd like to be Eugene Levy.
I think because wasn't this technically a straight to TV movie or straight to DVD? I don't even know. Sure. I don't know if it was theatrically released.
I'm not sure
originally,
either.
But either way, it's a fantastic movie.
In the tradition
funny.
of Spinal Tap, sort of like the mockumentary sort of thing.
Christopher Guest is a genius at mockumentaries.
Exactly.
Yeah. Love Eugene Levy, especially in Father of the Bride Part 2.
He's great in that.
He's wonderful in that.
American Pie.
Yep, American Pie.
Just all sorts of stuff. But
that's a great choice.
This movie is so funny, and I just love it. Every time if I see it on, I play it. I'll leave it on until it's done. It just cracks me up, and I think this is really one of the best. If you're thinking, putting it in that way, this one deserves to be brought up because it's so hilarious and so well done and just kind of out of nowhere, and it makes fun of the things that maybe we don't. Maybe part of it is it pokes fun at gay couples.
Yeah,
in a way that maybe you don't get that humor.
Michael McKean.
Yeah.
And I forget the other actor's name. He's in a lot of
tons
stuff.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Fred Claus and
Pitch Perfect. All that. Yeah. No, that's a really good choice. I'm glad you had that on your list because I love that movie. Just anytime it's on, I just have to watch it. Just
great comedy.
So funny. Great mockumentary.
That's all I got on. What do you got for number 10?
My number 10 is Unbreakable.
M.
Night Shyamalan from 2000. Bruce Willis. It's kind of a movie where it's, what if, Superman lived on Earth without knowing he was Superman.
I just got to say, this is a fantastic choice.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great choice.
Love this movie, and I love the follow-up in 2017, early 2017 with Split, which I love the marketing with that movie, how, we didn't know it was supposed to be a part of that. Sorry if you haven't seen that.
No, I have, but what was the... what exactly was the connection there?
If you haven't seen Split, whatever. At the end, they show Bruce Willis because it's the Unbreakable universe.
That's right. Yeah.
And now the next movie is going to be, I think, called Glass, so it's going to have them all in it now.
How cool is Mr. Glass?
Yeah, I know. This I love this movie. I mean,
I'm with you.
It's a little slow. You have to be patient with it, but it's just I just love how, this guy's just slowly discovering his powers. He's just touches people. He's able to, get visions, and he has, he cannot be hurt. His kryptonite is water, and the way Samuel Jackson finds him by just causing all these disasters left and right.
We're
bombings.
opposites of each other. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to fight one another. We're like an
exactly.
like one's one and the other's anti that one. It's He's trying to make this thing happen, It's nuts.
Yeah, and the score of this movie kind of sells it for me too. Just
how about that bench press scene?
Yeah, the bench press. He's just he keeps adding stuff, and they run out of weights. They add the paint cans. Yeah. Just such a great movie. This is M. Night Shyamalan at his best. Probably my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I think I'd agree with you. I think this is a fantastic choice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you picked this movie.
Yeah.
Really.
Love this movie.
This is one that was in my short list. Well, became a long list, but this one was in there because I think this one was maybe not so well received by the critics, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yep. So, yeah, number 10, Unbreakable for me.
Great job. Number 9, I have Casino Royale.
Nice choice. Nice choice.
Now,
some James Bond up in here.
So, this one was by the same director who did GoldenEye. And
I did not.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did the Pierce Brosnan. And he did the Mask of Zorro. I don't like that one. I actually really like the Mask of Zorro. But Casino Royale is so cool because we get. Sorry, coughing here. We get Daniel Craig, who I didn't really know what to expect from him in seeing this, and I loved it. I thought it was outstanding. This one you've got that opening where he's chasing that guy up the rafters.
Right, yeah.
And then, so I think this was an amazing reboot. Just a fantastic standalone film.
Yeah.
I think, get the James Bond. Eva Green, I'm not really crazy about her. I think she kind of is a little overrated. But that romance and loss from James Bond, which set up the later movies, where he's always can't really quite deal with that pain of that loss from that first movie. So, yeah, I love Casino Royale. I think it's an outstanding film.
Another great choice. Yeah, I mean, that's... actually, I don't even know if... when I was looking at lists, I don't even think I came across that. I totally forgot. I don't think it would have made my top 10, but still, amazing choice. Daniel Craig did amazing. Mads Mikkelsen as the villain. And even to make a poker scene so tense and so interesting in a James Bond film, of all things, is incredible. Yeah. So, great choice there.
Yeah, that's all I got. What do you got for number 9?
My number 9 is another 2000 film.
Oh, wow.
Almost Famous with Kate Hudson.
I have to say I've never seen this movie.
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do remember you saying that. Yeah. I came across it maybe a couple of years ago. Billy Crudup's in it. I think he did great. So, again, you know me. I'm a big coming of age tale guy. For some reason, those movies hit home for me.
That's okay.
And it's actually it's a Cameron Crowe film, and it's basically based on his life. He was a writer, and followed this band around. And it's just following your passion in music. I'm a big music guy as well, so I really could appreciate that. Kate Hudson did amazing in this movie. She was nominated for an Oscar for it. It won Best Screenplay. Again, just the music aspect of it, the coming of age tale of it, just following your dreams aspect of it.
Okay.
Just it's got all those elements in it that just makes a great movie for me, and it's got Frances McDormand in it as the mom.
Amazing, right?
I love anything she's in.
She's phenomenal.
She just I love Frances McDormand, especially again. She is even a subject this year. Hopefully, she wins the Oscar for 3 Billboards. But that this is a movie I want to explore sometime because it's one of those that just
that would get me to see it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it'll get you to watch it.
you probably want to know what I would think on a first viewing too, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I hate building up a movie and then having someone see it the
true.
first time, and it's just like they're just like, yeah, it was all right.
Just so touch and go. With
Yeah,
films,
exactly. But yeah, Almost Famous for me, just it took me by surprise for me. Again, I only came across it a couple years ago, but I'm glad I did. And again, one of those coming of age tales that really gets to you.
Well, good stuff. I want to check it out. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to say either way because I haven't seen it. But
It's all right.
good stuff. My number 8. This one I think is a wild card, and it's one that's just really, for some reason, near and dear to me. You're gonna laugh when I say it, but it's 2003's School of Rock
Oh,
with Jack Black,
oh my
directed
God.
by Richard Linklater.
I think that would have made my top 10. I might actually add that because I love that movie.
This movie is so great.
I love that movie.
This movie has humor. It
Yep.
has heart. It has a character growth and arc, and just hilarious. This movie. I'm just gonna say, this movie makes me cry at the end.
Yeah.
And it's about freaking Jack Black and like 12-year-olds,
Well, 'cause-
and I'm bawling at their achievement at the end of the film.
Because it's got so much heart.
It really does.
like that song, like, at the end,
Yeah.
if you wanna be a teacher's pet, like when they say,
Ooh la la la.
t-
Ooh la la la.
today's assignment, kick
Yeah.
some ass. Like then it's just like that, the buildup of that song.
Yeah, you want to be like that parent, like
Yeah.
cheering for your kid.
Right, exactly.
you
Like
get,
these
like-
kids, like they're in this boarding school where it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I have to learn this classical music. Like again, another movie about just following your dreams, like doing what you love.
Everything's so regimented, and then this crazy human being of a tornado, whatever, just like shows up and
Right.
like gets them to like tap into their like,
Yeah.
creativity and who they really are as people. It's such a freaking great movie.
I know.
love
Oh
it
my
so
god.
much.
I'm so disappointed I don't have this on my list because I love this movie. Like this is like I almost like I think I kind of thought of it a couple of years ago as almost like a guilty pleasure movie, but
Oh,
no, I
no
watched it again
way.
like a
I've
year
got
ago.
No
and
shame on this
it's-
movie.
Yeah,
this is an island movie.
Yeah, this is Jack Black at his best.
Oh, definitely.
This is Jack Black at his best. I even love the line at the end. I have been touched by your kids, and I'm pretty sure I've touched them too. And everyone freaks out. Yeah, great. Oh, great choice. Wow, I'm so glad you have that on your movie, on your list.
Yeah, thank you.
This movie on your list.
But that's all I got. So, but yeah, I love.
Yeah,
this.
again,
This is one of those you're like, oh yeah, how do I not put this in my? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's so entertaining. Like, there's not a moment where you're bored in it. It's a heartfelt comedy. It's not just slapstick or anything like that. Like,
I'd
it's
agree.
heartfelt.
Jack Black's best.
Yeah, absolutely. My number 8 is a little less heartfelt, but it's a story about friendship.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite comedies ever. It's a Superbad with Jonah Hill and Michael Cera.
Great call.
I had to include this in it because this has been my favorite. Like, this is what any comedy that's come out since this I compare to that. I'm like, wasn't as good as Superbad. It's no Superbad. It's no Superbad. So
What a great call.
Yeah, Superbad for me. Just again, a story about friendship, but at the same time, just
Hilarious.
freaking hilarious.
I think at some point I saw this in the theater, and at some points I think I was the loudest laugher in the theater. I could hear, was conscious of my own.
right.
Like, oh, that's just me.
Oh, that is just me.
I'm like laughing at every line.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great choice. It's hilarious. It's like,
Yeah.
it's great. I don't know if it's coming of age per se, but
Kind of, yeah.
Somewhat.
Coming of age / friendship.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, friendship definitely.
Yeah. It's written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
Right.
Evan Goldberg, I believe, directed it. Loved Bill Hader as the other cop.
the cop, yeah,
opposite
Seth
of
Rogen, yeah.
Seth Rogen.
This is Michael Cera before he became completely weirdo.
yeah.
This is really like his. After this was really downhill.
Yeah,
This is-
Superbad and Arrested Development for me are my only Michael Cera I like.
yeah, and then Jonah Hill he went upward here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane. Yeah, Jonah Hill's now an Oscar-nominated actor, which is insane, especially after Superbad.
Yeah, and then he did Moneyball, of course.
Right.
And then Wolf of Wall Street. Just really good stuff from him, which we weren't expecting. And this is an amazing call. Great. I'm glad you had this. This is
Yeah, I love this movie.
Just
I mean, I
it's a
could
classic.
I would sit here just saying quotes of it, but we like to keep this on time.
Absolutely. Ready for my number 7?
Yes, sir.
My number 7 is 2002's, but released in the United States in 2004. Hero, starring Jet Li.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've seen this movie about 5 or 6 times.
I saw it. I only think I've seen bits and pieces of it.
This one you should rent.
Okay.
Well, I can't rent. This won't be on Netflix.
Just go to Blockbuster, rent it. You know.
This definitely won't be on Redbox. But yeah, if you can get a hold of a copy, definitely watch it. This one is just so much style. It's in that because we saw the sort of the beginning of this in the U.S. audience with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is so much better than that, in my opinion. And there's like a love story. It's like 90% style, but you get this great music, this great choreography, and it puts you in this place that, at least for us or me, is so foreign and so different that I just love it. So this movie it's a great story of a guy who's it's about morality, it's about how to rule people, it's about love. So I think you should watch this film.
I'll
really
check it out.
This is one where I'd just go, I would rent it over and over and over
really?
again at Blockbuster. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, interesting stuff. Hero. Well done. What year was it?
2004.
2004.
It's foreign language. There's none of it's in English. I don't think.
Wow.
I think it's all in subtitles.
Oh, well, I can't read, so I'm kind of out of luck.
So maybe we'll pick another movie for you.
Maybe. All right. My number 7, which let me check the year real quick, was a movie got some attention back when it was out. Doesn't seem like many people remember it now. It's The Wrestler.
Oh yeah,
The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, which everyone thought he was going to win the Oscar for it. He won the Golden Globe for it, and this is when I really got into awards things. Yeah. So that's kind of how I remember this.
Marissa
Tomei, yep. Even what's her face? Evan Rachel Wood from she plays her daughter. I don't know, I love the broken man stories. You know me, coming of age and broken man stories. I don't know why.
So you become who you are and then you decline.
Yes, exactly. But I love the scenes with his daughters. Telling how he's this old broken down piece of meat, and I deserve to be alone. He realizes what he deserves, but ultimately, this is where he belongs. He realizes this is where he belongs, and this is where
he can't stop being who he is.
Right, exactly.
And it's almost, he's got like a hearing aid. He drives like a crap car. He's got like old clothes, like older than you. Like,
yeah,
he's really kind of pathetic, but also you root for him. You're sympathetic to him. For who there's something. He never quite reveals his heart or what's inside of him, but you want to keep digging for it and waiting for him to reveal it.
Right.
It's a great story. Yeah. It's well directed, well acted. This is an outstanding call. Yeah. The Wrestler was one that made my very short list. So.
Okay. Yeah. It's just
love this movie.
Guy that
This is Best Picture for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would can't disagree with you there because I love this movie and just wish it was still in the forefront today. When people think back on movies, it doesn't seem like this one's there, but again, just great acting, just great story, just a great tale. So just this one always has a place in my heart. So
outstanding call.
That's my number 7.
All right, my number 6 is 2007's No Country for Old Men. This is probably you probably have this much higher.
Yeah, a little higher.
Okay.
Do you want to wait to talk about it?
Yeah, let's wait.
Okay. That's your number 7?
Yeah, I mean, my number 6. But this could have been higher in another ranking.
Yeah,
I could see that you have a higher. I expect you to have a higher, but yeah.
All right.
And I know you love this movie so much. I briefly considered leaving it off my list, but I still
really no. Yeah, don't ever think that.
Okay.
All right. So let's just wait to talk about that. My number 6.
Yeah.
No Country was your number 6?
Correct.
Okay, my number 6 is very nice. It's a Borat. I had to put this movie on, and even though the
son of a bitch, we saw that in the theater.
We did. I think it was actually our very first movie we saw in the theater together.
We sure did, yeah.
Just such a again. I mean, it's kind of a documentary, I guess. I don't even know. No, not a
total-
documentary. Yeah, I mean it's fake, obviously, but it's like the stuff he did. Like he was pulling these pranks, like in
Farce.
real life.
Yeah, just
I mean,
fakecumentary? I
Yeah,
don't even know
I mean, there's really not much to say about this movie. I mean, it's not like it's this like groundbreaking thing. It's just. If I'm gonna say my favorite movies of this decade, this has to be in it because I mean this is just
He's a rapist.
VCR record. Oh, I'm in a chair. King of the castle.
Well, this definitely made my honorable mention.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you put this on, and I almost regret not having it on mine. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad you have it. What a hilarious movie.
Love it so much. And yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen to have the balls to do the things he did for this movie, for us to laugh in it. Just it's another art form in itself, to do these things just to make people laugh.
I'll say this
is
about
something
him.
I have to commend.
Absolutely. I think for Sacha Baron Cohen, and I may get pushback on this, but I think this was like he wasn't really that good before, and he really wasn't that good afterwards.
Yeah. No, I mean,
This is
what
by
has he?
far-
Yeah,
well,
what has he done
well,
since this?
Well, before was the Ali G stuff,
Yeah.
and maybe some other things. Then there was that one where he had the blonde hair. I don't know what that was.
Oh God, Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. I don't think I saw it.
I went.
think I
That's
saw part
that's
of
one of the first movies I ever walked out of, just because it was so stupid. Like I couldn't
Was
take
that
it.
bad?
Yeah, it was terrible. I don't know how. I don't think I laughed once.
So it's a bit of a one-hit wonder.
Yeah,
Or was he in? Was he in another movie that
he was in Talladega Nights.
Well, yeah.
With Ricky
he in
Bobby,
something with-
Will Ferrell.
Well,
he was in.
Was he in something with what's her name, Anna Faris?
He
He was
was
funny in that, I think. What the heck? movie
Anna
was that?
Faris, Sacha Baron Cohen. I don't know. Yeah, I'm
Am I
not sure,
imagining
but I might as well look it up. Sacha Baron Cohen. I know he was in Hugo, which is a Martin Scorsese movie.
I actually never saw that.
He was in Bruno. He was in Les Mis.
I saw that.
Bruno was in 2009.
Am I imagining this?
I think you might be imagining.
Was
He
that
was in
the movie where he was doing fake Kardashian stuff? No.
fake Kardashian stuff.
Oh wow, I'm off here.
You might not be. I just can't think of it. The Dictator.
Yeah, that's it. Anna Faris.
Oh
was
yeah,
in
the
that.
the Dictator.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
yeah.
Dictator. Yeah,
Um,
that was amusing.
yeah, I like how he showed up at award shows dressed as him and like
Yeah, with the
spilt
beard.
spilt ashes on Ryan Seacrest.
Oh,
or something.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that was
Ryan
cool.
Seacrest should be killed.
He just needs to die, which is what Dave said. I did not condone.
You were
that.
not. You were pre-quoting, so I don't know.
Doesn't sound like me, but yeah, Borat. That is my number 6.
All right, great call.
And I'm not going to apologize for it.
Excellent. My number 5 is 2008, Mr. Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight.
Tight. That's a little higher. I mean, we'll talk about it now. Just it's
Would
my
you have it?
my number 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's get in this movie, which is
Yeah, I mean,
this thing opens brilliantly, right? The bank robbery.
oh, and it's all IMAX.
I know everything. The whole screen is
Oh my
filled,
God.
and you're like,
You're just encapsulated in this movie. Like again, he puts you in the action.
this is and he's perfected it as he's gone along, and yeah, you're right in this freaking thing.
Yeah,
And what a great, I mean, it killed a person, basically, this role. Because it was too much for him to
Yeah.
actually deal with.
like he couldn't
who he
sleep
became.
anymore. He
Yeah.
had to take Ambien, which he eventually overdosed on. It's just
Sad,
it's
but-
very sad.
I mean, no one's really at fault here, but the Christopher Nolan creates this. Well, Batman Begins wasn't like this.
no, I mean it wasn't.
Batman Begins
It was dark, but it wasn't. I don't know.
It was almost not a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, it wasn't as immersive.
No, it was kind of like don't know what's going on. It's very confused. This one was very focused. And this one with all the Nolan kind of got his trademarks in this movie, at least the ones you've seen since,
Right.
where you can see, yeah, that's him. Where he like, or he puts a camera like on a bike or on a car, and you're seeing that perspective where you like putting your head out the window.
Oh,
It's
right.
like when
yeah.
you see, like, it's the same thing with, he does the same thing in Interstellar on the shuttle.
Right.
It's the same thing in Dunkirk on a plane.
Yeah, 'cause
He's
when
got those like shots.
Yeah, because when people talk about Dark Knight, they always mention Heath Ledger, which they should. I mean, Heath Ledger, this is one of the best performances
Of
of,
course.
this decade.
Yeah.
But you have like Christopher Nolan needs credit too in
There's
this
more
movie.
going
I mean,
on in
this
this
is-
movie than just one performance.
Right, exactly. I mean, again, just the shots alone, just the shots he chooses for the Joker. I mean, the Joker
Yeah.
hanging out the car, just like, and just like this guy's crazy.
And the
like,
sound design and the lighting,
This-
where it gets like, I love Nolan does dynamic sound, where it's like crazy loud and then quiet,
Right.
or someone spinning around. I can imagine someone like spinning around, and then it like quiets and you're
Right.
seeing like some like lighting effect going on. This is all direction here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the, it's almost a perfect. I think was this both our number one comic book movies?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It definitely was. Yeah. 'Cause
yeah.
you cannot top this movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is the
this
best
is-
comic book movie ever made.
It transcends comic books.
Yeah,
In a way that, Christ, in a way that Dunkirk transcends war movies.
yeah, it's true, and also it makes it makes it more real. Christopher Nolan makes a fantasy world seem real.
Yeah, you can see a Batman existing here.
It's
Because isn't this where we have the copycat Batmans in the beginning?
yeah. I'm not wearing hockey
Yeah.
pants.
Exactly. Yeah. That was a misstep though.
Yeah, I mean, the whole voice of Christian Bale in that movie was just awful.
That needs
That's
subtitles.
and the whole Two-Face stuff again. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times that I can nitpick it. I feel like I'm entitled to that just because I love it and I've watched it so many times. I'm just like, this isn't so great.
I think Nolan learned his lesson a bit on these movies with score.
Yeah,
And just sort of having characters do things where you're really not sure. Wait, why do they have to do this? Just because the score is loud, I don't believe that. Like,
I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense.
so there's some of that, and I don't see that in any of his post Batman movies. I
Right,
don't get any
yeah.
of that feeling. So, but anyway, so that's my number. Is that 5? Yeah,
That's your number 5?
think so.
Oh yeah, that was my number 4. So my number 5 then is The Departed.
Oh wow, that one didn't make my list. But
Really?
Great. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's Martin Scorsese, Departed, DiCaprio, Nicholson. Just love the tension in this movie. Such great tension.
Yeah.
Such great suspense in this movie. And I mean.
How good is Nicholson?
Nicholson? Yeah, I mean, I love Nicholson. I wish he got nominated again. I always go back to awards. Sorry, but yeah, I just love that you're just on the edge of your seat this whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know what's gonna happen, and just like you got a mole.
DiCaprio's great.
Yeah, exactly. You got a mole in the mob, but
Right.
you also have a mole in the police department, and they're both fighting against each other, and they don't know it.
I know,
Like,
and the
it's
mole
just-
in the department can get shut out, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I never thought of this.
And then the ending where just basically everyone dies, like it's just like okay, that's why it's called The Departed. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that's like sort of your only way out is to kill that guy in front of you.
Right, yeah.
And then that guy's got the same idea.
Oh, it's
Nuts.
just it's so it's mind bending and it's just crazy. Like it's just I love this movie. Scorsese, I'm so glad he finally won Best Director for this movie.
But it's not his best direction.
No, it's not. It's not my favorite movie of his or anything like that.
Right.
But I'm glad he finally did win.
I agree.
It.
100%.
In this year, in 2006, I think he was the best director of that year.
Right.
So,
But he deserved this for...
hey, he's deserved it for 30 years before this.
He could have had like 3 or 4 best directors.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's
That's a great call.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, The Departed. I had to have this on my list. Love this movie, and yeah.
Great, excellent.
Thank you.
My number 4, I think that's where we are, is 2007's Once. Have you seen this?
I don't think I have.
This
Once?
is it's a musical.
Oh!
Starring Glenn Hansard, who is an amazing singer, Irish singer and songwriter.
I think I might love the song from this movie.
I think the songs are more popular than the movie. The movie didn't get I saw this on like some really far away theater
Yep.
on recommendation for a friend.
Yep, I'm looking at it now. Once, yep, yeah, I love this song. But yeah, I've never seen it.
Probably Falling Slowly is maybe.
Probably, I forget.
This is a movie that's deep and personal to me and in my marriage, and
Okay.
my relationship with my wife.
Yeah.
This movie meant a lot to us before we got married, and it's We saw Glenn Hansard in concert. He played down at Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater.
Oh, nice.
He's just a fun. I think he might be the boy. I don't know what to say. I don't know. He's an amazing singer and songwriter.
Okay.
And he plays in a movie. He's not an actor. He plays a street performer. I think they call it a busker. Just a guy who
Busker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy who sings on the street for money. And he meets this girl, and it's sort of the story of them falling in love, and then him meeting her, and he has his own songs, so they go record them, and then like the songs that they write together about them falling in love, and as they're like going through the songwriting process, you can see how closer they get, and that sort of a thing. And then he's got to go, and it's sad, and this is a deeply emotional film. I'm not a musical guy. The same director, John Carney, did Begin Again. Did you see that with Mark Ruffalo?
No, I want to see that, but he
movie.
also did Sing Street that came out last year. Did you see that?
I didn't.
That was in my top 10 of
Really?
last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, or I guess not last year because we're in 2016. It was in my top 10. Sing Street. Definitely check that out.
Okay, so I'll see Sing Street.
Yes, and I'll see Once.
And Begin Again too, because that's worth it. as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to do a John Carney series.
I
or
know,
something
man.
like that.
Jeez.
I'm not a musical guy.
Yeah.
And this movie doesn't feel like a musical. This movie feels like almost like La La Land in a sense where people are getting together, and the music is so goddamn good that you love that they're singing. It's not like, okay, here's a number, and I got to sit here for freaking 10 minutes.
Well,
and
it's
just
not
go
like
to
a
the bathroom.
musical where they just sing out of nowhere, is it? Or
No.
they do their songs
Yeah,
because they're
he's-
singer-songwriters,
I mean, the guy's
right?
out. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
then-
okay. So, yeah, I mean,
and it
that's,
shows the recording sessions.
Yeah.
So it's
and that's how Begin Again is, I assume, too?
sort of like that. Yeah. Yeah, similar. So
Okay.
it does a musical in an I guess an obvious way where you're like, okay, I don't need to suspend disbelief. Yes, they're really playing.
Yeah.
I'm here watching them. So
I
it's
guess-
yeah.
That's
So-
cool that this guy just like does movies about music because that's obviously what he does. So I mean that's awesome.
I would
It's,
highly recommend this movie. It is a deeply personal and deeply moving film
Yeah.
to me. So
okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. All right. So that was what number was that?
My number 4.
My number 4 was Dark Knight.
Right.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is 2004's Sideways. I'm pretty sure you thought I'd have this.
Yes, that's definitely high honorable mention for me. I almost had it on my list, but just didn't make it. But great choice.
I love Mr. Church. I love, Mr.
Giamatti.
Mr. Paul Giamatti. Sorry about the cough. This is an Alexander Payne film. Who we talked about this, the election, the Descendants.
He did Downsizing.
Yeah, did that. Oh, really? Have you seen it?
Not yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in it.
I did. I know. I've seen I've been like all the
I don't know when
movies
it's showing up.
all the movies I've seen in the last 3 months. Every single one had that as a preview. So I'm like, all right, I got to see this already just so I can
Right, but it's, like,
find
not
out what
playing.
happens.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Or is it? I don't even know if
I
it's
don't
playing by us. But I did notice, by the way, the Phantom Thread is out now.
Yes, I know.
So I
Got to
wanna-
see
I'm
that.
thinking of checking that out maybe this weekend. I don't know with football.
Yeah,
So yeah, Sideways.
movies are more important.
Definitely. I love Sideways. This one, I think this one made my should have won Best Picture list. I think that's when we talked about it.
I think this is one we should do a show on too.
I would love to. I
Yeah.
never get tired of this movie. This one is, it's Paul Giamatti being just Paul Giamatti. He's kind of a middle-aged guy. He's a teacher. He's divorced. It's about him just trying to find some kind of center and some sort of balance in his life, and he does it. He's a wine guy. And
Yeah.
You get introduced to this whole subculture of wine, and I want to be there with them. And even
Right,
though
yeah.
I know it might be pretentious,
Yeah, very pretentious.
but I still want to be there.
They better not have Merlot.
Yeah, I'm allowed. Yeah. But then he goes on about Pinot Grigio, how it needs to face certain cold weather because that makes it stronger and it produces a better grape and all this stuff. This movie is just a brilliant film. I think we should do this one.
Yeah,
for
yeah. I
sure.
mean, it's so entertaining to watch. I mean, and Hayden Church,
Yeah.
his performance. He even got an Oscar nom for it. Yeah, great flick. I mean, I only came to it a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
I've seen it like 3 times now, just
think-
because I love it.
I came to this one. I think it was on IFC.
Yeah.
And for some reason, IFC had the rights to this movie, so they would play it a lot. So I saw it like 5 times.
You're there. We're watching it again.
And every time it's on, every time I play, I just get sucked in. And even at the end, because it has a nice ending, but I almost feel like it's bittersweet, but in a way that I don't mind it. So
Yeah, because I mean, you got Giamatti, who's broken in himself, but he's flawed. Hayden Church, he's trying to start his new life, and he's flawed, and he's trying to get with another girl while he's trying to start a new life, while Giamatti has ruined his old life. So he's like, what are you doing? Like,
everybody's making bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an emotional roller coaster, that's for sure. And I love the ending, and I love, again, not a ending that spells it out for you. It just kind of just ends, and I like that.
Yeah, and the Paul Giamatti character, he's really not like me at all, but I just feel deeply related to.
Yeah,
that
he's
character
intriguing.
in a way.
Yeah, he sucks you in. Say, I'm really glad you had that on your list. So we have a lot of diversity on this list.
We
I
sure
like
do.
it. I like it.
So are you on your 3? Or?
3? Yeah, that was your 3, right?
Yep.
All right, my number 3 is Inglourious Bastards.
Oh wow.
I think this might be my number 1 or my number 2 Quentin Tarantino movie.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Love this.
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. I mean, honestly, he makes this movie for me.
Yeah.
He sucks you in at that beginning scene.
And half of all internet memes are Christoph Waltz.
It's very true. It's very true. And he, that beginning scene has got to be maybe top 5 best movie scenes of all time for me. Just the tension alone, he's so charming. At the same time, you're terrified of him because you know what he's capable of.
We see the same sort of thing in Django.
Yeah,
where he creates that tension, and there's nothing better than tension.
Yeah,
in films, so.
yeah. I mean, obviously, Christoph Waltz should get credit for that, but also Quentin Tarantino, obviously, as the writer and filmmaker of these movies. But
Eli Roth, where do you fall on?
He's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, he really is.
I like the aspect of the bear Jew. Like, it's kind of badass, that he just, destroys these Nazis with his baseball bat. It's like,
right, but just
give it to him. Yeah, he's obnoxious. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I don't really care for him.
Just happy you're on that.
Yeah,
side.
Yeah, definitely.
Great call.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Brad Pitt in this movie. I loved the end when he's
I don't know what he did with his face.
Well, and I love what he's like trying to do. Like, he says, "I speak Italian," and he's like,
Italian. Yeah.
He's terrible at it. Buongiorno. He's absolutely awful.
What's going on?
But I loved Brad Pitt in this movie.
Funny.
Yeah, absolutely funny. And someone I was introduced to was Daniel Bruhl. He was outstanding. Is that the other, and also the chick? The main German chick, not Diane Kruger, which she was great, but the other one, Melanie something. But yeah, she's outstanding in this movie. But yeah, just the tension in that bar scene towards the end of the film with Michael Fassbender.
Oh yeah.
Just I know Quentin Tarantino, when he was doing interviews for the film, he talked about that scene about pulling a rubber band slowly until it just snaps, and that's how you feel that scene. But yeah, I just always had a soft spot for Inglourious Bastards. Had to put it up this high.
Great call. My number 2 is 2007, a common year for me. I think it's the third film in that same year, is There Will Be Blood by Paul Thomas Anderson.
It's my number 2 as well. Nice.
Now I know you're number 1.
Yeah. Oh, do you? I wonder what that could be. But yeah, There Will Be Blood.
Daniel Plainview. You know how many times I would walk around my house saying, "Bastard from a basket."
Bastard from a basket. Yep.
I
drink your milkshake
all the way down.
This movie is just so mesmerizing.
Of a man who can accomplish anything but is completely insane.
Yeah.
Will do anything to anyone in his way.
And you don't relate to him at all.
No.
You don't like him.
But you don't want to look away.
Yeah. You hate this guy. Like, this is a despisable this guy is
horrible.
Terrible.
He's a villain. And we want him to win.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. I don't want anything bad to happen.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Because I don't know. I don't even know why.
Right.
I don't know if it's the acting, the direction, everything. I think
it's a mixture.
I'm transfixed by this film. This talk about movie that stays with you. It's like a virus that's like in your mind. Bastard from a basket.
Bastard from a basket. I can't keep doing this on my own.
Yeah, it's so. His child is deaf and he's yelling, and they're yelling at each other, and he's got no sympathy for him at all.
absolutely. Just anytime, just this
Horrible.
this is one of those movies that's just like, I think acting alone makes this movie. It's
And
just
the way
like,
it begins, he's
yeah.
like in the trench, and he's like,
Right.
And then you get the score, or I don't even know if it's a score. It's just a sound like me that doesn't go away.
right, yeah.
You're like, it makes you just feel like you want to like tear your
Yeah.
own throat out to get out
No-
watching it.
Paul Thomas Anderson film, and yeah, this movie, by the time of this recording, I've probably already seen it, but Phantom Thread comes out this weekend, and
I don't know.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Daniel Day-Lewis, hearing great things about it.
That's why I'm
So-
watching it. I watched the trailer and I said, well, I don't want to watch a movie about a tailor. I don't know.
Right, exactly. But I'm hearing great things, and it's Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie, so
That's
I
what
have
they
to.
say.
I have to see it in the theater.
It better not be his last movie. Oh, by the way, you notice Daniel Day-Lewis is turning into Jeremy Irons as he ages? What is that all about?
He really is. He really is. But yeah, again, the best way I can describe this movie is mesmerizing. And there's a tree.
There it is. So that was my number 2. What do you have?
That was my number 2.
Oh, same.
Yep.
Okay, so all right. I'll say my number 1. Not only is it because it's my turn, but I know that you have nothing to say. And then I have combined the Lord of the Rings movies into one,
Makes sense.
and I think they are just amazing. And
I need to check them out.
The Return of the King won Best Picture in 2003, and I'm not even sure that the Return of the King was the best of the 3. But the sequel is fantastic, and Peter Jackson gave me. I will watch anything by Peter Jackson going forward. He bought credibility. He did the Hobbit series, which really wasn't even that great. But
Right.
I love them because he created a world which I don't mind going into. And if it's 2 hours of not such a great story, I'm just so glad that he brought me back into this world.
Right.
When I first watched the Fellowship of the Ring, which came out in 2001, I hadn't read the books. So I read The Hobbit, the book, and then I read all 3 books, and then waited for the movies to come along. And this was like a solace to me. This was like an escape hatch for me. This world that J.R.R. Tolkien created and wrote down, but then Peter Jackson took and put on screen in such a phenomenal way. I just, it's an amazing accomplishment for a filmmaker. So I'm sorry you haven't seen them, and I'm sorry you haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the first 2 just when I
so
was
you haven't
way younger.
Okay.
Like where I didn't really appreciate film yet, and just didn't appreciate.
You may not love
much
them
at all.
It may just be a personal thing,
Right.
But this is one. This
I mean,
speaks to something deep inside of me in a way that, like, an Interstellar. 'Cause we just did Interstellar, but in a movie that this one is more like historic. It's not like science fiction or anything, but I think there's a really deep
right.
something going on in these films and this story. And that's my absolute favorite. These are movies where I have the extended editions, which are like 5 hours long, and I can just throw one on and watch it for 45 minutes randomly, and I get something out of it, or I feel a certain way. So what I would hope for this show, at some point, if we could schedule a Lord of the Rings. I don't know how we're going to do these
Yeah.
movies and how many episodes it's going to
Right.
take.
Well, I mean, we did Star Wars, so
That's true. We didn't even go through Star Wars.
I know. But
we did what, 6 of the?
yeah,
Did we do 6 movies?
we did Empire, we did Jedi, we did
We haven't done A New Hope, have we?
No Hope
the
is
prequel.
So we still have a few to go through. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is definitely a series I want to revisit. Started watching the first one a couple months ago and was definitely drawn in by it. Just didn't have time to watch it. But yeah, I mean, this is I can see why you would combine these as well. They were all filmed at the same time and they all came
Yeah, they
out
were.
2001, 2002, 2003.
That's talk about ambitious.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, how do you know these are even going to be successful and you can
And
film all 3
you're
at the
on
same
that-
time?
Yeah, you're on that year schedule.
Right, yeah.
And
It's just-
every Christmas, one comes out,
Right.
basically. So,
Yeah,
thank you, Peter Jackson. That's my number 1.
nice.
I deeply feel that story. And like I said, it was one I didn't even know, really, until I saw the very first movie. So,
What do you like better, the Lord of the Rings universe or the Game of Thrones universe?
I like Lord of the Rings by far.
Really?
Yeah.
By far. Wow, okay.
By far.
All right, I'll definitely have to
I
revisit that.
like the Game of Thrones universe, but it doesn't have it doesn't have any sense of hope. the Lord of the Rings universe.
That's true. Yeah, Game of Thrones is really
Just nihilistic.
Just-
You know,
yeah.
everything sucks. You
Yeah.
suck. I
That's
suck.
true.
We're all gonna die.
yeah,
Lord of the Rings there's real like mythology here.
yeah,
J.R.R. Tolkien made he literally like codified a universe
yeah,
and made languages for these different peoples.
yeah. That's
So
crazy.
like when like in the movie you'll see when they're like that's like a real thing.
yeah.
It's not like they're just talking gibberish. That's like the actual language that
Right.
he made that says, "Hey, I'll see you at the bus stop tomorrow."
Well, they have bus stops as well in the.
Hey, you didn't see the bus stop?
I guess not. I missed it. Now again, another reason why I have to revisit it. All right, so my number one is one where I said skip. I think this is our only.
Same season? No?
Yeah, samesies with this, and There Will Be Blood is No Country for Old Men is my number one.
Oh,
Which I can go back and forth with There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men with my number one any day of the
Same
week.
year.
But yeah, same year, 2007. No Country for Old Men beat it out for Best Picture.
so what does this movie do for you?
I don't. It just again another same with There Will Be Blood. It's mesmerizing. You got Javier Bardem.
Oh God,
Who won Best Supporting Actor for the film?
he's like
he's
a
so-
real monster,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Like he's just so deadpanned in his delivery, but
The
you
coin
know,
flip and
coin flip, and you're terrified of this guy. I know, right? Like good God, like, and then I
I
love
like covering my eyes.
Yeah. yeah, like good God, like it's so terrifying, yet you know,
relatable in a way.
Yeah,
You know, like,
relatable.
You get the Tommy Lee Jones character. You get the Josh Brolin. Well, yeah, I mean, there's money here, right?
Right,
I
yeah.
come across it. What do I do? Do I hope to? Well, I'm going to live out my life and pretend this never happened, or
Right.
maybe I can take a chance.
yeah.
And, you know, well, this wasn't counting
We obviously
on
know what happens
Anton,
there.
but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Anton Chigurh, very good. Yeah, and Woody Harrelson's in it. But yeah, it's Coen brothers at their best. I mean, you can't go wrong with this movie. It's just encapsulating again and no score. Another movie with no score
Yeah.
or barely any score. I don't think it has any score at all.
None?
But no,
Doesn't have a score.
no. Yeah, I mean it's
Really?
yes, it is scoreless, and
Oh,
if
wow.
it does, it's very minimal, and I think it's even less than There Will Be Blood because There Will Be Blood has a very minimal score as well.
There Will Be Blood has more sounds than score.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true too. But
But
yeah, and I love the aspect of just like when Tommy Lee Jones sees that old guy in the wheelchair, and he is telling him about this crazy guy he's chasing, and the old guy's just like, there was people, Indians back then that did this crazy stuff, blah blah blah. He's like, what you got is nothing new. Like this is just something that like old
This is the
people.
world.
Yeah, again, No Country for Old Men, where old men just think like, wow, this is way worse than what I knew. But at the same time, if you really go back to what was before you, it's been like this forever.
it's like No Country for Anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
In a
I
way.
mean, yeah, it's just whereas old men are just kind of at the end of the road. They're trying to find that hope, and it's just like,
They've
man,
got no ability to,
yeah.
with the illusion of control that they thought they had. As they get older, they realize that it doesn't really exist,
right,
and it can erupt at any moment. It's a very unsettling movie.
right, yeah, absolutely. And it's also about old men paving the way for the younger men, because he explains his dream at the end, saying how his father led the way.
Right.
He's got the the torch, and he's lighting up the cave, and I love that ending, because it's just like another ending where it's just like not really an ending. You're just kind of describing this dream, but it's got so many metaphors in it. And the ending scene is just Tommy Lee Jones explaining his dream, and then just saying, and then I woke up, and then black.
Yeah,
Love those kind of endings. I mean, typical.
I wonder if Breaking Bad borrowed from some of this. 'Cause
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
it feels similar. You get
Yeah.
the same idea going on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a great call. I
It's-
mean, this is.
What was that on your list?
But it was number 5. But
Okay.
but I knew in the back of my head that you were gonna have this really.
Well,
high.
yeah. I mean,
And I guess I think I mentioned I toyed with the idea of tossing it out just because I knew you were gonna have it so high because I know how much you love this film.
right.
But I couldn't, out of good conscience,
Out of good conscience, I could not leave this
because
off.
it's an amazing movie.
You didn't think I would have There Will Be Blood?
Oh, I knew you would too.
Okay.
But I know that I like There Will Be Blood more than you do,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
and I know that, and I think you like No Country for Old Men more than I mean, of the two movies in those. In other words, both those movies came out in 2007.
Right. Yeah.
And if I was to vote for Best Picture, I would pick There Will Be Blood.
Right.
And I know, and you would pick No Country
No
for
Country.
Old Men.
Yeah.
So that's where we differ there, and I knew that going in, but there's no way I could deny this movie.
Right. Yeah.
Even though, I almost feel like sometimes, and I think I've said this many times, that if a movie makes me feel uncomfortable, I feel like I almost feel like I downgrade it unfairly.
Right. Yeah.
And this movie makes me feel just so bad.
It does. Yeah.
I don't like the experience in a way.
know.
You know what I mean? It's that car wreck thing where I'm like, it's good, but do I want to watch this? Do I want to see this happen? And
Right.
it's tough, but there's no denying the
Yeah,
craft.
I mean, it's hard to put into words what I like about this movie. But just again, Javier Bardem and just the direction. And I love Tommy Lee Jones in this movie as well. I forget who won best supporting actor, I believe Tommy Lee Jones was nominated for it, but I
hope
think he
so.
should have won because
I love Tommy Lee
I'm
Jones.
sorry. Javier Bardem won Best Supporting Actor, which is deserved, but Tommy Lee Jones definitely deserved a shot at the running there.
Yeah, because
but,
the lead would have been Brolin, right?
yeah, definitely. And he didn't even get nominated, so
He was just, well,
he was decent.
he was good, but he wasn't like phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
But,
he was like, it was more of a setup to what else was going on in that world and in that situation.
Right.
He was like a trigger in a way.
definitely. But yeah, No
That
Country
is-
for Old Men, my number one film.
Our top
of the,
10
Our top 10. Yep.
of the 2000s.
We had a lot of diversity in this, man.
I knew we
liked-
would. You know,
yeah.
there's so many good movies, and I want you to see all the ones that you don't like on mine, and I'm sure you feel the same way about me. So this is an amazing decade for film.
Yeah,
I don't know
definitely.
what it is. If we're biased, we might be slightly biased by our age on this, but there's a lot of freaking good movies.
I know, man.
I was thinking about you did Borat. I was thinking about Wedding Crashers,
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. Step Brothers is my go-to. Elf. I mean,
Elf.
how does that not make so-
Minority Report,
Oh,
Iron
Minority
Man,
Report. Yeah, I'll
The
send,
Prestige.
Yes, I mean, there's so many phenomenal movies. I could do another 10 and justify all of them.
Right? Yeah,
A completely different 10 and be just fine telling you
Yeah.
why they're better.
I know. It's insane. Anchorman, Memento. It's just so many.
Yeah.
What a great decade. But yeah, I'm sure in a month from now, my top 10 would probably be totally different.
Yep.
It just all depends. That's what I love about movies.
Absolutely.
But, all right, folks. Well, that is it. Let us know what your favorite movies of the 2000s were. We'd love to hear it. At BlockbusterCast is our Twitter handle. I am at BCcord.
I am at Dave_Quist.
And follow us on Twitter, as I said, and subscribe to us on YouTube
Yeah.
and like
Hey, baby.
us, review, blah, blue, iTunes,
iTunes.
all that. Let's do it. All right. Well, great list, Dave. Great film
Obviously.
choices. Love it. And now I want to go watch all of these films.
Let's go do it.
All right, folks. Well, for Davo, I'm Ben Secord, and as always, grab some popcorn, grab some snacks. We'll catch you guys
At the movies.